Hi, my name is Roxy, and welcome to Coven. So I have decided that we were going to do a new segment, and it is going to be called a month recap. And I'm actually really excited because there were a lot of, I guess you would say, impacting moments of my life this past month. I feel like this is going to help me reflect on what the hell I'm doing during the month and if I've done anything. And you know, I would love to look back on these. To bring us back to time, I brought pandemic coffee, the whipped coffee. I will say this month recap is not gonna have a date or time or any of those things. I'm kind of just gonna talk about what I remember. I do have like a little cheat sheet over here because my brain doesn't always remember a lot of So yeah, let's jump into it. Number one, I went on a little trip, and I will basically tell you how that happened. So this past month, me and my friend we were supposed to go to Joshua Tree. Unfortunately, that didn't happen because of unforeseen circumstances. I beforehand was like, oh, you know, I've been to Joshua Trip before. I was with my ex and it was still a really good time. Trip is going to be coming up and I'm really excited about it. But the whole reason why I decided to have a random shroom trip in the middle of actually on this couch, this very couch, this room, is because I wasn't sure how I would react to when it comes to doing it and when it's been over 5 years. The last time I did it was I was in Chicago and I did it with this girl that I kind of barely knew. I met her through Bumble BFF, if anybody's ever you know, downloaded that app or whatever. I just wanted to make sure that the trip was going to be good, especially if I'm going to do it with another person, and this person is really important to me. Shroom tripping it really can be all over the place. I know that it's different when it comes to acid, and which I will never do acid, and I have never done acid. Will not be going down that path. It was just a random afternoon. I woke up, made my coffee, did the whole routine. I was like, oh, you know what? Like, I should just try these shrooms out. And I was thinking micromanage, right? Microdose. And I guess I don't know. I looked it up. I looked up how much a microdose was, and it was saying like less than a gram. So I was like, oh, 0.9 should be good. What? No, not at all. Yeah. As you can tell, my boy did not micromanage. Hell, I can't stop saying micromanage. Microdose. Let's go through the trip together. I forgot to eat when it came to tripping. I had my coffee and then I was like, okay, had my coffee, let's shroom trip. I ate the shrooms with some Lay's chips. These, I think they were the lemon. I don't know how to say it. I ate them and I was like, oh shit, I forgot to eat. Let's make our food. Okay, if anybody knows, drinking, smoking, anything that you're doing drug-wise or just like in general, you forget to eat, something always hits you way harder than it should. And while I was in the middle of making my food and then I brought it back to my room, I was having the worst time of my life. I could not eat, and I was trying to eat, right? But it was like I did finish it. I did not feel that great afterwards, but it didn't ruin anything. It kind of was just like, why did I do this? Don't do drugs, kids. So don't take my own advice. These are all just experiences. Reminder. I will say it lasted about 6 hours. I texted a couple of people just to be like, hey, I'm going on a trip in my little rocket ship. Anyways, one was like, I'm honored that you were even texting me while you're tripping. And two, like, hey, how you feeling? People were checking on me, which was really good. I was just laying on this couch the whole day. And then my friend was like, okay, now that you have consumed, start watching Common Side Effects on HBO. And I will say, it was the best thing I ever did. But I will say the first hour was very hard. The come up is insane. I was turning off and on the AC because I was getting hot, then I was getting cold, then I was getting hot, then I was getting cold, because you're basically making yourself sick. I was just having fun. I was just watching the show. Sometimes I was like getting on my phone watching TikToks, but then like maybe 2 hours passed and I was like, I need to go to the restroom. And yeah, that's where the fun really started. I will make a story time about this. I think it should be its own personal thing. The other thing that happened this month was, unfortunately, one of my favorite artists, but I didn't listen to him very often just because it just wasn't in the rotation of music. I remember when I first listened to this artist, they helped me during a really bad breakup, but they also helped me during really big depression times, and it just, every time I heard their music, I just kind of like got really happy and excited and felt like the day was gonna go really well. And that artist was unfortunately 𝖂𝖊𝖑𝖈. Rest in peace, my dude. It feels like the people that we're losing, we don't deserve to lose, and they don't deserve to lose. The way he brought light and, you know, comfort and warmth to people. There's a whole clip, you can find it on YouTube, about him talking about when he does die, where his money's gonna go and how it's gonna continue to contribute to, you know, independent artists and those who, you know, basically need it. Losing him was just it was a big slap in the face to a lot of people, and it really sucked. Anyways, to now go into not such a, you know, saddened part, we're gonna talk about my soft boy era. So I feel like this is an era. Since I went on a shroom trip, I have noticed that when I went on this trip that I was like, wow, when you do shrooms, you should be in a happy mindset and a better mindset and a good mindset, clear, you know, kind of not clouded. And I didn't know how I was going to feel, as I had just ended a situationship like a month ago, and I totally forgot. But also, like, I've been trying really hard to just like keep myself at peace and, you know, realize my worth and not go back to things that don't benefit me or make me happy. I was really proud of myself. That's what I was telling my friend. I was like, I'm really proud of myself for actually doing this, coming out of it. It could have turned really bad. At the end of the trip, I was like, I think we're good. Like I said, I've told you guys that I want to have a more in-depth conversation with you guys about, like, you know, my past in a healthy way, but not in a in-depth way. I did not have that great of a childhood of growing up. It wasn't, you know, terrible. It was traumatizing, but it wasn't like, I always think about it, somebody always has it worse. What I went through is valid, and that it's okay to say that, you know, what I went through wasn't okay, basically. I just repeated myself. I've always kind of had this attitude from my environment growing up. When I think about the person that I want to be, is this a intervention? What is happening right now? I want to be someone who brightens up people's day, makes them feel good, but also can be introverted. I very much love the people that I have surrounded myself with, the small knit group. I don't need a big group of friends. I'm very happy with 1 or 2 people. I still have my flaws with assuming in my head that, you know, I don't deserve to have these people here, I don't deserve to be able to be invited here, blah blah blah. You know, the whole things that get in your head about insecurity and stuff. And that still happens from time to time. You can work on it so much. You can talk about how hard that you've progressed to this, you know, this path, and how good you've been, and how things don't bother you the way they do anymore. The biggest thing I was trying to do is learn how to be logical and think before I react. So not being reactive and not being defensive as much, questioning and trying to be like, well, no, they're my friend. Why would I think that they would be that way? It showed me the kind of person I've been and how I want to change. And living in Chicago for those 4 years, I got more toxic and I can't blame the weather, but I feel like something wasn't right there, and I knew it wasn't. So when I left, I felt a relief, a weight taken off my shoulders. Basically, I've just seen myself grown from the person I was when I lived in Texas to Chicago and now being in LA. June, really, I was like, I need to branch out more. I need to let people know I am there and that I am willing to hang out and do these things and be less reactive and more understand, like just grow as a human being. The other thing that happened this month that brought down insecurity so much was that I somehow had a chemical burn, insect bite, some random situation happened on my face, and I, till this day, have no clue what happened. That whole week before, I was doing a lot of makeup, I was putting a lot of things on my face, I was like food coloring, you know, clown makeup. It was a good week, or a good 2 weeks of just like pushing out content and doing my Twitch. So I woke up and I was like, my face is burning. I don't know why. So then I went into the bathroom and I was like, it's kind of red. Like, is this like a rash? I don't know what happened. Didn't understand where it came from. I didn't do anything different with my routine of normal skincare. Sometimes I put on exfoliation after the shower, and then I'll put on moisturizer, and that's it. I was like, the only thing I can think of was something was with the makeup products I put on there, but there was nothing really besides food coloring. And I haven't tested out food coloring yet, so maybe, okay, this is a little gross, but a lot of my stuff is probably expired. But I've been using it for years. But I hadn't put on any makeup the day before. I was actually had prior makeup, which was mascara. But again, I don't know what was going on. So I was a little self-conscious about it. And then I was like, maybe it's just a rash. Fine. Got a little redder, and I was like, this is so weird. So I went to work. I went up to my manager and I was like, hey, is this noticeable? Like, do you think I look ugly with this on my face? And she was like, what? On your that? No, I wouldn't even seen it. You didn't point out, but also, why is it raised? And I go, excuse me? Raised? What do you mean? She's like, yeah. It looks like it's been like, you know, a blister. No. And she's like, here, go put this on in the bathroom. It was like some gel or whatever. And she's like, and just like rub it on there and don't mess with me. I went to the bathroom and I started putting it on. I squeezed it and stuff came out. It was clear stuff, but it came out. No, God! That happened for a very long time. I think it's still kind of there. You can't see it with the makeup, but it kind of stuck around for like almost 2 weeks. And I was just really depressed, really sad, and just did not stream for all that time because I was like, I feel so insecure. And then it started fading away and it started getting better. And I was like, okay, we're back on track. That was really terrifying. And I'm hoping it never happens again. I went and saw this film. I've been kind of obsessed lately, but this is the film. Jackass, it was impactful growing up, and I didn't realize it was until I saw this movie and then randomly had a lot of time and watched all of the movies. I never really forgot about them. I always remembered them. I will say, I don't think I saw any of the films. I saw a lot of like the CKY and the show, but I don't think I think I saw one and that was it. Like, I never saw any of the other films. So when I saw the other films, I was like, oh my god, like, I missed out on so much. I'm so embarrassed and annoyed. I live my life as these guys. I basically try to live every day. It's my last, because you never know when it will be. I care so much about my friends in general, and I'll do anything for them, and I would be there for them, go through hell for them. Friendship is so important. And no one taught me that. You know who taught me that? I taught myself that. Had always rooted for myself to have that type of friend group from the past and having them for years, but as a former bullied kid, it never was something that I was able to have. I've had a lot of my friendships in my adult years actually show me that I'm a really good friend. After watching these films, and I'm still continuing to like stay up to tune with them, I was like, damn, this show really did impact me coming out, you know, as don't really care a lot what people have to say, and I live my life and try not to think too much. I am a crybaby. That's something that Johnny's new at, but I've been. And then Jasper's in it, which I was like, oh my god. Also, if you guys want movie reviews, let me know, because I watch a lot of films and I would love to talk about them, which is actually a segue into my other film that I saw, which is the last thing that I really did this month. I saw Supergirl. And any of you motherfuckers in these comments talk about Supergirl and how terrible it is, I'm going to rip you apart. Stay out of my comments. Now, you are free to talk about however you feel. Just be very mindful. Like, this film, it wasn't the best, but it wasn't as bad as everyone was saying it was. Supergirl, she killed it. Spoiler warning. I'm giving a big spoiler warning right now. If you haven't seen it, please skip to like the time right here, so that way that you don't get spoiled. But having Superman in it too in the very end was also really good. I thought it was a really good little chef's kiss there. But in general, I just thought it was a good film. I gave it 8 out of 10. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 for your Letterboxd, which I will put my Letterboxd in the description below if you guys want to check it out. This month was very revolutionary. It showed me a lot about who I am and what I really want to do and how I need to actually get off my booty and do the things that I said that I wanted to do, which was make this YouTube thing. And I know that I want a tiny mic, so that way that you're no longer hearing the phone's audio, but you're hearing my audio right here. I've been just a little weird about it because I'm like, I really want a camera, but I can't afford a camera right now. Like, and so if I can't afford a camera right now, at least what I can do is get actual lighting, because this lighting sucks in my opinion. So thank you so much for still watching my when my setup is terrible. And this is me just like putting myself down. If you guys enjoy my personality, enjoy what I put out, then you'll stay and you'll watch me grow as a creator or a YouTuber or whatever this turns into. I don't know. I'm kind of just like having fun just talking to you guys. And I would love to hear about your month. If you had anything going on this month, I would love to hear about it. Remember, please be kind in the comments. People have been, so it's really good. I haven't seen anything gross. The only time it's ever gross is on my TikTok. So if you're being gross on my TikTok, go screw off, please. Thank you. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like and a little subscribe. And I would love to hear from you on any of my other platforms, all listed right here. My Twitch. I would love to hear if you come in. Even if you just lurk, I would love to see you lurking. I would love to hear from you if you want to chat. TikTok, if you want to, you know, I do post a lot on there. I have 2 TikToks. One's like more of an aesthetic account, but you'll have to find that one. And then my Instagram, I am really bad at keeping up with that, but I'm trying really hard to stay on top of things. Having multiple platforms is a little draining because I don't do this. Like, honestly, probably this year is the most that I've ever tried to do with anything social. So please give me some grace. I'd appreciate it. This was fun, and I had a lot of different ideas coming while I'm talking to you guys, so it feels really good to have those moments. My name is Roxy, and welcome to the 𝖭𝖊𝖑.